But the best basketball of the weekend, the best player in America, the best shooter in America, Caitlyn Clark.
This woman is special. She is a marksman. She is the Steph Curry.
28 years, the numbers were stellar. Caitlyn Clark drew a whole new fan base into it. And now the question is, because she has been eliminated, she and the Indiana Fever are eliminated after losing.
And they all stayed the course. She allowed her teammates to lead her in certain moments and calm her down in certain moments while still playing the game and being herself.
Speaking of freak athletes, Caitlyn Clark effect has now hit the WNBA. It has been announced today.
Caitlyn Clark is box office. She's doing this. And instead of giving her credit, y'all tried to make it about, oh, y'all poo-pooing the old guard.
Caitlyn Clark's gone, and the WNBA's in trouble. Viewership just dropped like crazy. You won't believe how much this rookie has changed the game. One minute she's breaking records, the next she's out of the playoffs. What happens now? Let's talk about Clark's rise. She went from college superstar to WNBA sensation faster than you can say three-pointer. The Indiana Fever, they were nobodies. Now, everyone wants to see them play. It's like Clark waved a magic wand and boom, suddenly the Fever are crowd pullers. Clark was on fire, breaking records left and right. Then, just like that, she's out of the playoffs. It's like a basketball roller coaster, and fans are feeling every twist and turn. The league's scrambling to figure out what's next. Imagine this, a league changed by one rookie. That's Caitlyn Clark for you. Clark's impact goes way beyond highlight reels. Ever wonder what happens when a single player becomes bigger than the game itself? The stats tell a story that even the biggest WNBA fans didn't see coming. You think Clark was popular? Wait till you see these crazy numbers. Let's break it down. The Indiana Fever with Caitlyn Clark on their roster became the hottest ticket in town. They're pulling in almost 16,000 fans per game, both at home and on the road. That's not just good, that's game-changing. We're talking about a team that went from afterthought to must-see entertainment overnight. It's not just about butts and seats. The WNBA's bank account is feeling the Clark effect too. The league is looking at a $200 million payday this season. Compare that to the usual $10 million loss they've been dealing with, and you'll see why everyone's buzzing about Clark's impact. Now, let's talk TV. Clark's games were pulling in an average of 1.32 million viewers. That's almost triple what they were getting last season. It's like Clark waved a magic wand and suddenly everyone wanted to watch women's basketball. Her regular season games, they were drawing more than 1.8 million pairs of eyeballs. That's not just good, that's superstar territory. Take Clark out of the equation and things start to look different. Playoff games without her, it's like someone hit the deflate button. Some games aren't even filling half the arena. TV ratings, they're struggling to hit 500,000 viewers. It's like the air got sucked out of the room. Analysts are calling it the Caitlyn Clark effect. She's bringing in fans who've never watched a WNBA game before. People who couldn't tell you the difference between a pick and roll and a fast break are tuning in just to see Clark play. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. Think about it. One rookie comes in, and suddenly the whole league is riding a wave. Attendance is up, TV ratings are through the roof, and the WNBA is making money instead of losing it. Clark's not just changing the game, she's changing the entire business of women's basketball. Money and fame are one thing, but Clark's real superpower? It's not what you'd expect. Ever wonder how a 22-year-old became the face of women's basketball? The answer lies in her past, and it's transforming the future of the sport.
That ain't got nothing to do with Caitlyn Clark, but there was a lot of people tried to make sure they keep Caitlyn Clark in her place, because what you're doing, if you give her all this shine, you minimize what they done.
I love the point that you made about Caitlyn Clark in terms of the BS that she had to deal with off the court. We got to remember, she's been box office, she was the main attraction, and there were so many storylines that's been associated with her. Most recently, the whole thing with her and Cheryl Swoops, even though it really wasn't her, it was Cheryl Swoops and all this. Every time you turned around, there was something that she had to deal with.
That is the question on everybody's mind, because when you look at the numbers with Caitlyn Clark there, her first playoff game, drawing 1.84 million viewers, ridiculous numbers. The highest rated playoff game since game 2 of the 2000 WNBA finals. This wasn't even just an opening round game back in 2000. This was one of the finals games.
Caitlyn Clark's story isn't just about breaking records on the court. It's about breaking barriers and overcoming adversity. You see, before she was lighting up scoreboards, Clark was facing a different kind of challenge. Bullies. Yeah, you heard that right. Bullies. The basketball prodigy was once the target of cruel taunts and social exclusion. Instead of letting it break her, Clark used that pain as fuel. She poured everything into her game, turning those hurtful words into a driving force. While other kids were hanging out, Clark was in the gym, perfecting her shot, honing her skills. It wasn't easy. She missed out on a lot of typical teenage experiences, but she had her eye on a bigger prize. Now that dedication is paying off in ways nobody could have predicted. Clark's not just changing the game with her skills, she's changing lives with her story. Young players look at her and see more than just a basketball star. They see someone who faced adversity head on and came out on top. And it's not just about inspiration. Clark's bringing a whole new attitude to the court. She's fearless, thriving under pressure in a way that's making experts sit up and take notice. They're saying she could change the entire culture of women's basketball. Imagine that, one player shifting the mindset of an entire sport. Clark's appeal goes way beyond hardcore basketball fans. She's drawing in people who've never watched a WNBA game in their lives. She's got this magnetic personality that just pulls people in. Suddenly, folks who couldn't tell a free throw from a foul line are tuning in to watch her play. But it's not just about her skills on the court, it's about who she is off court. Clark's story of resilience, of turning pain into power, it resonates with people. She's not just an athlete, she's become a symbol of what's possible when you refuse to let others define you. Current WNBA stars are taking notice too. They're not just impressed by her game, they're blown away by the work ethic that got her there. Clark's journey is a testament to the power of perseverance. She took the doubts, the criticisms, and used them as stepping stones to become one of the most exciting athletes in the game. Clark's eliminated, and suddenly the WNBA's got a major headache. The viewership numbers, they're not looking good. It's got people wondering, did the league put all its eggs in one superstar basket?
It's always important to give credit where it's due, and I think we all realize where the credit needs to be given as far as the success.
I think she's spectacular. I think she's going to be the biggest box office attraction in women's basketball in short order. I know it sounds like I could be a bit biased. I had the pleasure, as I've told you on several occasions, of doing an interview with her. And when I was there with her on stage to do something with her, 10,000 people showed up.
Caitlyn Clark, unanimous Rookie of the Year. But what's even more impressive, she's first team WNBA.
Fever are having on the economy in Indianapolis, in the WNBA, in the world of sports. And frankly, it's amazing.
Let's talk about the WNBA's Clark's problem. The league's been riding high on Clark's star power, and now they're facing a tough reality. Get this, you've got the hottest player in the game breaking records left and right, and what do? You leave her out of your promotional graphics. That's right, the WNBA's marketing strategy is raising some eyebrows. I mean, come on, really. It's not just about missed photo ops. The league's struggling to figure out how to keep fans hooked without Clark in the playoffs. Remember those packed arenas and sky-high TV ratings? They're dropping faster than a buzzer beater. Yeah, that's right. Some games are barely filling half the seats, and TV viewership, it's taking a nosedive. The WNBA's been losing money for years, about $10 million per season. Then Clark shows up, and suddenly they're looking at a $200 million payday. That's not just a game changer, that's a league changer. With Clark out of the playoffs, everyone's asking, can the WNBA keep this momentum going? Experts are scratching their heads, trying to figure out how the league can grow in the post-Clark era. They've tasted success, and now they're scrambling to find the recipe. The big question is, how do you build a sustainable league when one player has such a massive impact? Think about it. Clark's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. She's bringing in fans who've never watched women's basketball before. People who couldn't tell you the difference between a layup and a free throw are tuning in just to see her play. That's amazing, but it's also a huge challenge for the WNBA. The league's gotta figure out how to spread that star power around. They need to showcase other players, build up new rivalries, and create storylines that keep fans coming back even when Clark's not on the court. So they've struck gold with Clark, but now they need to learn how to mine the whole mountain. The WNBA is not just competing with other sports leagues. They're up against everything that's vying for people's attention. Streaming services, social media, you name it. They need to find a way to make women's basketball must-see TV even without their biggest star. So what's next for the WNBA? Clark's rise was like a rocket, but her playoff exit, it hit the league hard. Viewership's down, and everyone's wondering how to keep the excitement going. How do you keep fans hooked when your biggest star isn't playing? Clark's journey isn't just about her, it's about the future of women's basketball. She's inspired a whole new generation of players and fans. The WNBA needs to ride that wave, find new stars, and keep the momentum going. What do you think? How can the WNBA keep fans excited without Clark in the playoffs? The league's definitely got potential, but they've got to play it smart. The future of women's basketball, it's looking bright, but it's going to take more than one star to light up the sky. I'd love to hear your comments on this. Stay tuned for more exciting news about the WNBA and other sports. Oh, and please like and subscribe. Now, let's go.